Man, remember when this song was like new and it was still "Fuck You" and not "Forget You"?
Good morning, gamers!
Ni hao. Ni hao, Kailan.
Victor, that's racist. You can't say that on this podcast.
It is not racist.
We accept everybody here. Except babies. Fuck babies.
Yes, fuck baby. That's what I was, saying. And that's why I played that song, because
it's a song written about fucking babies.
I was just like, man, fuck everyone in the world, because that's the Vic and Hope way.
That's true.
I'm returning us to our glory of not giving a shit about literally anyone but each other. That's the core of this podcast. I gotta stop being self-conscious about what we say. I've had a long arc of being like, oh no, are we being too negative? No one likes us. Connor and May don't watch us anymore because we're so mean.
Yeah, we're really mean.
We're so mean. I made everyone mad at me. I'm making fun of the PCP. Now it's like, man, fuck everyone. Fuck everyone in the world.
Wow.
Because we refuse to have children. Anyone who thinks that we should have kids, fuck you. That's my metric for if you're a good person or not.
Do you think people are obligated to have children?
Yes.
If yes, you're an asshole.
If we are talking and I'm like, me and Hope are never gonna have kids. If you're like, that's smart, you guys are cool, then I fuck with you. If you're like, why? Having kids is the point of life, then fuck you. You can eat my ass, cause fuck kids. Spend my whole fucking life ever trying to guilt you into having children. Making sure the audio's working. We're good.
Gotta love a guilt-based society in which you are guilted into procreating.
Yes.
That's super healthy.
Guilted into literally everything.
Super productive.
Do some shit that absolutely disgusts you to your core, because that's why God
made you.
Mankind. For the
you
good
dingus.
of mankind. It'll give you purpose in life.
What you're saying is you need to have a child in order to have purpose. But then if that child doesn't have any children, that child has no purpose, thereby giving you no purpose because that was a purposeless child.
It's true.
So, I mean...
You basically fucked up. I mean, your parents have basically wasted their entire life. Their life have no purpose at all.
They should have honestly slain me as soon as I came out of the womb.
They should have had a second kid. They shouldn't have fucking bitched out, They should have popped out another one.
My mom did want another child. My dad said no.
Oh, I'm surprised. I mean, fucking power to your dad.
Yeah,
damn.
My dad literally was like, no.
I figured your mom just wouldn't be able to handle a second kid and was like, fuck that.
Can you imagine if my mom had to deal with two kids? And one of us was like, not a child that wanted to make her parents happy.
Right? Oh, it would take the heat off of you, though.
Well, yeah.
Because she would realize that you're like the fucking best deal on a kid of all time. Like, you are probably the easiest... You probably were the easiest child to raise that she could have possibly gotten. You didn't really act out. You did what you were told. You weren't a fucking spaz. You didn't rub shit on the walls. Like, you were as good as a kid can possibly get. I swear to God. You never got into drugs. You never even had really a boyfriend growing up. Didn't have that stress.
It was never a problem.
Like, you didn't do anything that would be a problem. You got great grades because you were terrified, You were the best deal a person could possibly get on a kid.
I mean, if she had had another child, it would have been the opposite of me, and it would have been a complete hellion.
Exactly. It would have been a fucking nightmare.
It would have been pretty funny, though.
It would have been the rebel. And you probably would have been worse just by the influence of the other kid,
Probably just by the nature of having to deal with that fucking child. I'd have been like, oh my god, fuck you. You absolute piece of shit.
Everything would be dramatically different.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Maybe she'd appreciate you a little bit more, because there's something worse to compare it to.
I guess.
She never had, like, the real struggle child to have to deal with, to appreciate how good you are.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
it still bewilders me that you spend like way more time with your mom than like probably any adult, like besides people who are like super clingy and obsessed with their parents, you know? Like you spend a lot of time with your mom compared to like anyone else you know, who do you know that spends that much time with their parents?
I mean, besides Tyler.
Yeah,
but
he still lives with his parents.
That's true, he lives
like
at
if he
home.
didn't live with them, he would end up spending a lot less time with them.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, besides my friends who still live at home, no one.
Yeah. Yeah, you're expected to be there, an incredible amount.
Well, yes, of course.
Wow.
The gift of being an only child, I guess.
I'm right now the best of my brothers, which is calling my parents like every 6 months.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
and yet I'm the one communicating the most of everyone.
Because your dad will
So it
literally
seems.
ask how everyone is doing and get like one word answers from Conrad and no reply from Shane.
Not get anything at all. And I'm like, And I feel bad because I just hate texting, you know? Like at this point, I barely even text you anymore, and you were the person I texted the most of anyone in the world of all time. Yeah, we live together.
It's different.
It's difficult.
I've
just gotten so accustomed to not texting anymore.
Yeah.
Don't even feel bad about it. I feel like I need to get better at it because even when I'm gone, I feel like I need to be texting you more.
That's the only time we ever text more than like, oh, I'm on my way home or whatever.
Yeah. But I'm also just like, I don't like texting at work, on like on a moral level, or unless it's a time when I really have time to do it. Like I just don't want to be the guy with my phone out all the time.
Yeah, and I mean I'm the same way at work. Normally I'm like so busy hauling ass that I don't have time, you know.
And then because I'm not on it throughout the day, I don't think to get on it when I have the time. A lot of the time, But like when I sit down for lunch, I like eat lunch and I go take a shit and I don't really think like who do I need to text.
Yeah.
It's just it's very different from back when we were not together or while we were just starting out where I wasn't living with you and I was thinking about texting you fucking constantly, absolutely every second of my life. I was thinking about texting Hope. And I do think it was probably a detriment to me on like that first movie I worked on and stuff because I was I was thinking about texting you more than I was thinking about doing a good job.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I did not want to be there, It was like I would rather be somewhere else. I'd rather be hanging out with you than working.
Yeah.
And that does tend to,
it is
it makes you do a worse job. Whereas nowadays when I'm working, I'm just thinking about working. Like I'm just there.
Yeah.
My head is not anywhere else. And it does make me sad because it makes me feel like I'm not thinking about Hope as much, which is not good, because I love you very much. But yeah,
when you get home at night,
see you all the time.
We're gonna be hanging out.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure if I should feel bad about that or if most people just wouldn't even notice, Like most guys wouldn't even notice that they're not texting as much.
It's hard to say.
You gotta do this and then you do boom boom. That's not shooting the right way.
I was gonna say, wait a second. This doesn't feel right.
Did I get it? No.
Uh-oh.
It shot way too hard.
Oh, yeah.
Got the right idea. Okay, the controller has gyroscope in it, which is very interesting.
That looks like it feels very awkward.
It is a bit strange.
Handle.
Damn it.
Swing and a miss.
I'm gonna get him.
You got this. I
I'm
believe in you.
gonna get him. I guess I could just stop the rolling track, but that doesn't seem like it's
But the ball
fun.
would keep rolling, right?
Yeah, but I could just shoot it off.
Yeah, I guess so.
Not only the ball would keep rolling.
If you stopped the conveyor belt,
Yeah.
the ball wouldn't keep rolling.
Yeah. Ah, damn it! I just gotta shoot it
Inertia.
once. I hope this is a video game.
This is a video game about science.
True.
This is like Dr. Stone, okay?
No!
Oh, fuck.
This is very hard.
You got this. Shoot a little early so the inertia carries it and it rolls on in.
That's what I was trying. There we go.
Yeah,
Got him.
look at the spin on
I
that.
hit it at that, gave it that little spin,
Whoop.
and then it flopped on in.
It's like bowling or some fucking nerd shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not into texting anymore, to my own detriment,
Yeah.
sometimes. Like, last night, I brought my phone into the kitchen while we were making dinner, and then I just left it in there.
You truly did.
And
I was surprised when you
yeah.
told me you left your phone in the kitchen all night.
And then, like, when we went to bed, I looked for it, and I couldn't find it.
Oh, I
and
didn't
I was
realize
like,
you looked for it.
I don't know where it is. And then I just gave up, because I was like, it's not important. But then in the morning, I see that at 9:30 p.m. last night, someone texted me about work, and with the potential job, and I just didn't even notice, because I didn't have my phone on me for 12 hours. They're like, oh, well, that was a bit late, which I got saved on that, because that would have been a really shitty job, which is another point I want to get into, which is becoming jaded to certain work, because now I'm comfortable, you know?
Too comfortable. You're becoming
it plays into what I was talking about in the last episode, which is now that I have financial security, like, I can finally be picky about the work I do, because I'm not reliant on every single shitty job to get by. So, like, someone can come to me, and this was a job to work on a reality show. It would have been a 12-hour day, and it would have paid $600. So that's,
which is pretty good.
$50 an hour. Yeah, it's pretty.
That's
it's pretty fucking good. But it's also an infamous show to work on that nobody likes. You know,
Right.
It's like some fucking bullshit. It's like a horrible job to take, and it's on a Sunday, and it was at the last possible minute.
Truly.
So it's like, that is the worst case scenario on being desperate and taking a job, even though it'll pay well. But then it's money that you're not going to see for a month, you know?
Right.
I mean, which is still good money. But either way, I'm happy to be in a position where I can look at that and go, I don't want to do that. That's just not going to be worth it, you know? Which, you know, that has its give and take, because on the one hand, I'm not rich, you know, I could use that $600. It's an incredible amount of money to make in a day, you know?
Definitely.
It's just such a, shitty monkey wrench into your situation. Oh no, gotta pause. Alright, so this episode got interrupted because our Walmart showed up.
Our Walmart groceries were delivered.
And I was in my underwear, so I had to hide while Hope answered the door as always.
Yes.
I'm always in my underwear.
Yep.
But we got our Walmart.
So
There's
what
a lot
was
of conveyor belts
unusual
here.
about this Walmart? What
So
did we get this time?
They mysteriously gave us about 8 bags of hamburger buns. Did you order any hamburger buns?
So here's what I did order. I ordered brioche buns for breakfast sandwiches, and I ordered potato bread for sandwiches, because we're having a thing at work this week. I ordered those 2 things, and somehow that equated to 8 packs of Nature's Own hamburger buns.
Yeah.
I truly do not
I dropped
understand.
the ball. I guess
You
I really
did. You
dropped the ball.
I guess your feet are really glued to the floor now.
Yeah. I guess my feet are really glued to the floor now, guys.
That was the fucking single strangest thing.
So
oh my god. Do you know
What?
why that happened?
Why? Did you order 8 packs of hamburger buns?
No, it happened because the potato sandwich rolls that I ordered were worth $2.32.
Huh.
1 bag of those Nature's Own hamburger buns is worth 33 cents.
What the fuck?
So
How?
they literally give you the price equivalent in Nature's Own hamburger buns. Walmart is so fucking stupid. Just charge me 33 cents for the 1 bag, you dumb bitch.
This is insane. Well, you've already paid, so they can't.
Well, no,
you
they
know.
can alter the price. They tell
they?
you when you pay that is subject to change.
Oh. Well, what the fuck?
So I don't understand.
That's pretty fucking great.
I'm so confused.
How are those so cheap, though? That's amazing.
This is confusing because now it says substituted Nature's Own hamburger bun 16-ounce bag 7 at 33 cents a piece. That's one substitution.
Wow.
The second substitution was the brioche buns. Same thing, Nature's Own hamburger bun 16-ounce bag $2.98.
Yeah.
Why is one of them worth 33 cents a piece and the other is worth $2.98 a piece? There's some inconsistencies.
Maybe they
going
gave us
on
like
here.
the ones that like they were throwing away. I don't know.
It has to be that they were close to their expiration date.
Yeah.
That's got to be it.
Because they seem really shitty. They all seem like flattened and like Terrible. We're gonna feed them to the ducks. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
We're gonna go feed a whole bunch of bread to ducks.
We're gonna have a fucking
I know the bread isn't
over
good for
here.
ducks, so
It's gonna be
please
awesome.
don't pelt us with comments about
Nobody
how
knows
it's not
that
good.
except for you. Nobody knows that.
Other people probably know.
Man, fuck those people. I want to feed the ducks the bread. Ducks deserve bread.
I don't know what else to do with 7 bags of hamburger buns, in all honesty.
Yeah, you give it to the ducks, man. What are you gonna throw it in the trash, or give it to a homeless guy so he can throw it in the trash?
Or he can give it to ducks.
Yeah, maybe the homeless guy will give it to the ducks. See, now you're thinking with your noggin, your noggin dos.
Shut the fuck up.
Fucking feed the duck a bread.
This is the strange, fun things that happen when you do Walmart delivery.
It's
you get
the
8
best.
bags of hamburger buns.
And hey, now we get to feed the ducks.
Oh
so
my God.
that's
Oh,
we
fuck.
win. We got extra fun out of it because now we get a whole. I mean, that's a whole afternoon of activity that we get to do now, and we get to feed the ducks. And I'm gonna throw a goose at the top of a hamburger bun, and he's not gonna know what to do with all that hamburger bun. He's never had that much hamburger bun in his life.
I guess so.
We're gonna feed the ducks so many hamburger buns that they're not hungry anymore. That they just go away. They get
leave.
sick of it. They're like, I'm done with this shit.
This
I'm
is
done. This
garbage.
is bullshit.
I hate
didn't
you.
expect to be fed so well today. This is bullshit. And then they'll be gone.
Yeah.
And we will have won.
We won?
We won. Yes,
We
we
won.
won. Won.
We won.
We won. We won. Look at this. We're in this place
It's
now.
a
We're in the
canyon.
desert.
The Grand Canyon.
Yeah, the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
There is a desert. We're not in the desert. We're in the canyon.
You
Blah,
should
blah, I
shoot
killed
that
that dog.
dog.
Well, you can't
Wow.
fucking tame them.
You
The
should be able
wild
to ride
dogs.
the dogs.
That would be cool. Yeah, it is kind of bullshit. You can only ride horses and not the
Petition
dogs.
to ride the dogs.
You
in
can
Breath
ride
of
the
Wild.
deer. You can ride the bulls. Can't ride the dogs? What the fuck?
I know. This
That's
is
fucking bullshit.
To be honest.
Clearly,
Wow,
no furries were involved in the making of this game.
That's very
I
true.
can't shoot that far.
It's too far.
I gotta plot my strategy on how to kill all
You
these
gotta get them
bukus.
pro strats.
All these fucking Goku bukus.
Get them.
Me.
Bah!
Got 'em.
Dumbass bitch.
My knight's bow is badly damaged.
You can just see me swoop in there and.
What were we
fucking-
saying before Walmart showed up?
I was extremely disoriented by 8 packs of hamburger buns.
We were on some kind of tear about something. We're going on. I need to fucking play the footage back.
Wow, these guys are fucking dumb.
Amazing AI, 10 out of 10.
These guys are truly retarded.
Raw tarded.
Yes.
It's fucking raw.
Fuck, what were we talking about? Oh, how you are able to not take shitty jobs in the film community.
Oh yeah, that's very nice. I'm glad I didn't have to take that shitty job today so that we could hang out, because that's what I wanted to do. You know, it's the worst when you gotta take those last minute jobs and like you had to go to a baby shower yesterday. We didn't get to hang out. And now we're getting to do Vic and Hope. It's like we wouldn't have got to hang out at all, and then you would have had to work all week again, and I wouldn't have got to do nothing. But I'd had $600.
You would have $600.
I don't need $600.
No.
I'll get the $600 somewhere else. It's fine. That's the joy of knowing that you'll have work in the future. It's that you'll get the money back somehow. You know.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
You'll gotta
Wibbly
take
bobbly.
every piece of shit job that you absolutely will hate. Oh, maybe it would have been so bad, but everyone who's worked on that show has been like, it's the worst.
Yeah.
It's fucking awful. So I think I did pretty good. Just like when I didn't do that feature film earlier in the year, and that seemed like it would have been a stressful nightmare, and I wouldn't have made that much money. And I don't miss it, you know. Yeah, there was a feature film earlier this year. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't work on it.
I'm
And
aware
it turned
of
out okay. Wow, you don't gotta be a part of
no.
everything, you know. I gotta kill these wolves to get more meat. I'm sorry.
Dougie.
I gotta kill the doggies.
Dougie.
They need to die.
This is sad. Victor.
Yes.
We went to the movie theater this last week.
Oh shit. We've
What
seen
did
a
we
lot of
go
movies this year.
see?
What did we go see? We went and saw the scary movie?
We went to see Spooky Stories to Reiterate in the absence of light
Yes, at the nighttime.
at the nighttime.
How is that? You want to give a Hope famous recap?
Oh God, it's not a bad movie though, so
Yeah, but
I don't really think a recap would be very funny.
I mean, it was just an alright movie, you know? It wasn't the most amazing movie in the world,
Yeah,
but it was.
I mean,
it
it's
was
definitely
good.
a
It wasn't
a movie
particularly
for kids.
Yeah, it wasn't super unique or different, but it was fine, you know? It was good.
It was a good time. It had some nice practical effects. I mean, the best thing about the movie was obviously the pale lady.
Yeah.
She was awesome.
There's a big fat lady in the movie, and she's scary because she's so fat, and she's covered in fat folds, and she's very spooky, and she walks down the hallway, and it's very spooky. This is a scary film for spooky people. If you like scary spooky, you'll think this movie's alright.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
You'll
not-
be like, neat.
You know, it's like it's not gonna scare you because you're an adult.
No,
but
definitely it won't scare you.
But it'll entertain you. It kind of,
And I
it very
mean-
much wants to move in the direction of like the It movie, where it's like that kind of Spielbergy like fun adventure horror film that's, you know, less about being scary and more about being interesting and like having a bunch of cool things, cool set pieces and stuff,
Yeah. No,
cool
definitely.
ideas going on. Yeah, look, I moved those rocks and there's a treasure chest
Whoa. Nice. But definitely
full of topaz.
the highlight of the movie was the pale lady. Some
Yes.
great ass practical effects. She genuinely is like the spookiest monster.
Because she's real fat.
In that
and you're
entire,
like, why is she so
uh,
fat?
Yes, she's very spooky
Fat
because
people
she's
are
fat.
scary. Oh, look, I can see the
And
tower.
also because she doesn't really look like she's trying to threaten you. She's just kind of like smiling and blinking
Yeah.
and slowly walking towards you. And you're just like, oh, all right.
It's a spooky cryptid.
And then she just hugs you into oblivion, which is
Yeah.
neat. I like
She
that.
hugs the boy.
I like that she just absorbs him, and it's just like, he gone. There he go.
There he go indeed.
There he go. Nothing big and traumatic happens. He's just absorbed and he's gone. 'Cause that feels like what that monster would do. Doesn't
Yeah.
feel like she'd be violent or like, you know, outrageous. She
It's
just,
a hug monster. It just wants
and
to
you're
hug.
gone.
It's just, it lives for the hug.
It lives for the...
And it dies by the blade.
While you were studying the hug, I was studying the blade, yes.
Yes.
I have to say, the Jangly Man was probably my least favorite monster.
Who's the jangly man?
The Jangly
What is
Man
that all
is
about?
the big guy who his body parts break apart, and he also says the nonsense
Yeah.
phrase from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which is
He's like
my
a-
Doty Walker, which is,
Mhm.
if you've never read the story, you're gonna be like, why the fuck is he saying
I didn't
this?
know that he was saying anything
So,
relevant.
I had never read that particular story, so I wasn't aware of the lore behind My Doty Walker, which is apparently the basic story is there is a house in the middle of the woods outside of this rural village, and people are too scared to go stay in this house because everyone who stays out there vanishes. A rich guy comes and visits this town, and he's like, I'll give a certain amount of money to anyone who can stay overnight in this house. And a young boy takes him up on the offer. So he goes with his dog to stay in the house overnight. And partway through the night, he starts hearing, like, shit rattling around outside. And he hears the voice outside go, my Doty Walker. And then the dog who's in the house with him is, like, speaking the nonsense language in reply to the monster that's outside. And it's a whole series of events where the voice is continuously getting closer throughout the night, and the dog is returning the call back to the monster. And then eventually the monster comes in through the chimney and it kills the kid. And like that's the story. That's
See,
my
like,
Doty
but-
Walker.
Doesn't that just, it makes the movie feel lame, you know? Because, like,
I don't
the
feel like
movie
there
tries
was a
so hard
need
to be a
incorporate
compilation,
that.
but, like, you know, they took the character from that story, but, like, what is the character without the story?
Yeah,
You know, like, what's
without
the point?
setting. I mean,
It's
I
like
get,
they have all these characters, but you have no idea what the context is that made them interesting to begin with. They're just kind of a
I
thing
mean,
that's around.
I can appreciate that they utilized the plot device of having the book full of scary stories to make it like, oh, well, if you know, your story is written in the book, then it happens to you in real life. You know, you die in the game, you die in real life. I get it. But it does seem a bit silly to have the characters forced into these pre-existing stories.
Because it's just like, it would have been better to just do like a Netflix series where they adapt each story one by one, you know?
Yeah, I feel like
Into
that probably would have been,
episodes.
but they
like
probably couldn't have gotten the budget that they got.
Yeah, but then it's like, but then what's,
Scary
you know, what's really the point? Like, you didn't really adapt it in the way it should have been, you know?
Yeah, I feel like if anything,
they could have just taken the art style and
choose a
made
different
a movie
monster.
with that. Yeah.
Don't use My Doty Walker.
Don't use a monster
else.
that makes no sense without the context of
like,
its story.
The pale lady works just fine because she's a lady who appears in the kid's dream, and you could be like, yeah, sure, kids have fucked up dreams all the time. You could totally believe that's a monster that would show up in someone's dream and then it shows up in real life. Fine. Yeah. But like with the Jangly Man, it just feels like a stretch. You know, with Harold it works because it's a scarecrow that's lived in this kid's field. Harold is this big creepy scarecrow. He lives in the field outside this kid's house. So you're like, okay, it's established that this kid has grown up with this fucked up scarecrow in the field. He's like fucked around with it his entire life. So of course when the scarecrow comes to life, it wants to fuck him up because, you know, this kid's continuously abused the scarecrow. Totally makes sense. Pale Lady, got it, makes sense. Jangly Man just feels like we need to have a big, scary monster that can chase you around. How do we make it happen? And they shoehorned that in. Yeah.
And like, oh, this is a famous monster from the stories or whatever. So like, oh, let's have some fanfare and put this guy in here. It was like, I wouldn't know what the fuck the Jangly Man was or that it was important if you weren't sitting there going, oh, that's the Jangly Man. Like, I wouldn't have fucking known that anything was happening.
I only knew that because I follow Guillermo del Toro on Twitter, and there was big hype about the Jangly Man, and that was like my least favorite thing in the movie.
Yeah, he was awful.
He's too CG. That's my problem. With the Pale Lady and with Harold, a lot of that is very obvious practical effects. It feels like it's there. It feels like it's something that's being interacted with. The Jangly Man, even though they used, what's his name? Troy Williams, I think is his name. The same actor who was in like The Shape of Water, and he was the hand and eyes guy in Pan's Labyrinth. Like, they used him for the mocap, so it really is a real human, like, doing these movements and doing these motions. But then his face, and like they put a layer of some CGI over his body, and it just looks so bad. I don't like it. It feels like he's not there. It's too much. It's just like, all the subtlety and coolness of those other monsters is out the fucking window with the Jangly Man. You're like, all right, yeah, he's a guy who can rip his body parts apart.
He was quite obnoxious.
Great. This is not what I want to see at all.
Yeah.
Not to say that I didn't like the movie, because I did like a lot of it, but
that's why it's
definitely
an okay
not
movie
perfect.
and not an amazing movie, you know? It's like, alright, that was good, and, you know, I'll forget that it exists very soon.
I mean, as far as the movie itself goes, will I remember anything beyond the Pale Lady? Whoops!
Close call.
Beyond the Pale Lady in a couple months? Probably not.
Absolutely not.
But I do really, really like the Pale Lady, so...
Whoa.
That's just me, though.
This place is cool. I'm all climbing around on cliffs and going up these little thingies.
Climb. Got places to climb. Gotta climb.
Yes, you were silly. We know this. This has been established. Look at me. I'm going up the side of a cliff.
Wowie. We also watched a movie at home about the Bible.
Which one was that?
Horns.
Oh, Horns, yeah. Talk about Horns. Tell people what the fuck Horns is.
Horns is a movie starring Daniel Radcliffe in which his girlfriend is murders. She's plural murders. She's more than one. She's multiple murders.
Yes.
His girlfriend is murdered. And the small town that he lives in blames him for the murder because he is the person closest to her, I guess. And they're just like, oh, well, clearly it was you. We're a judgy small town, and we're all assholes.
Yes.
And
that was the actual dialogue.
That was basically the actual dialogue in the movie. So they all blame Daniel Radcliffe, and there's this huge witch hunt going on to convict Daniel Radcliffe of this crime that he states he did not commit. Sorry, that was just funny.
You put all these boulders around for me to have fun with.
That he states he did not commit, and over the course of the movie, he gradually starts growing.
Oh, they're fast! Oh,
Oh, Jesus!
Shit!
Oh fuck!
He caught up to me real
Get
quick.
them boys. You gotta get them boys. Oh,
No!
shit. Oh,
No!
Them boys.
They spoiled my plan.
Truly.
Ah! Damn it, that didn't work at all. Shit. I ruined the fun gimmick that they set up for me to interact with. That guy is jumping on me right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I can freeze! Freeze!
Mm.
Oh, I died.
Oh. Oops. Well, sometimes
Neat.
it'd be like that.
Fuck. God damn, they do a lot of damage.
Uh-oh.
I've got all the tough enemies after me, but I don't really have the armor to not die. It's almost like I've somehow made the game challenging. Boom!
Get fucked.
It's almost like the reward for interacting with the game system is an increased difficulty. Got him.
There he goes.
Woo! I got the chest. Anyway, continue about horns.
Yes. So, he wakes up one morning and he has grown a little set of horns, and these horns affect the people around him in a way that makes them basically say exactly what they're feeling without any sort of filter. So he learns all sorts of unpleasant truths about what the people around him really think of him.
Yes.
And over the course of the movie, he just embraces the power of the horns that he is growing and uses it to manipulate people to find out who actually killed his girlfriend.
And it's real edgy and
Whoa.
cool. And there's like edgy music as he makes people fight each other.
Yes, this is a thing that really does happen.
It's very corny.
He makes reporters beat the shit out of each other for an exclusive interview with him.
Yes. It is a corny, stupid movie
it's
for
pretty
sure.
corny.
It is very corny.
But, I mean...
It's an interesting concept.
Here's the problem with this movie, is that it tries... It tries too hard to have, like, a moral agenda.
Yes.
The twist of the movie presented about halfway through...
Is that it's a Christian movie.
Yes, that it's a Christian movie. Is that, the night that his girlfriend was murdered, she actually broke up with him when he was just about to propose. And she breaks up with him on the premise that they've never dated anyone else, and she's moving out to LA because she wants to experience the world and make sure that what they have is really what she wants in the long term.
Yeah.
Which is something a real human would do. Like, I believe that as a motivation for a human being.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, yeah, because that's something a stupid person would do. They'd be like, oh, well, I haven't fucked enough guys. I need to go... whatever, I need to go fuck off and live my life.
She's committing the rest of her life. She sees where it's going. She's just gonna fucking graduate high school and pop out a kid with this this dude, and then they're just gonna be fucking normal for the rest of their life.
Exactly.
She want to see what's out there to experience before settling down and having her life set in stone.
So it's like, okay, I totally get this motivation from this character, and like, from the perspective of Daniel Radcliffe's character, like, I get it. Like, I can feel the emotions that this character is going through, the frustration, and like it feels very real. And you're like, yeah, all right, I was pretty on board with that particular turn of events. But then come to the end of the movie, and it turns out that what she told him about moving to LA and wanting to fuck other dudes was a lie, because she was always a good Christian girl, and she loved him, but she had terminal cancer.
Oh,
and
no.
she didn't want him to be weighed down by her. So she had to hurt him to set him free, because she was gonna die from terminal cancer. And I was like, gay!
It was gay.
That
I
sucks.
It is a stupid movie.
First of all, how dare you set up these emotional stakes and then be like, oh, just kidding, she was a perfect angel after all. Like,
Yes.
fuck you. That's so lame.
Yes.
No one wants that
Because
character. That character sucks.
At the end of the day, this was a shitty Christian film.
Because at the end of the day, remember, it's all about how many people you've slept with and only establishing a, saving yourself for the perfect person and making sure you go to church every Sunday and wear your crucifix.
You gotta be a good girl. And it turned out, he gets rid of his devil powers and he becomes an angel.
But then he embraces his devil powers to kill the boy who killed his girlfriend. Because it turns out his best friend actually
raped
his girlfriend and then murdered her.
Basically out of fucking nowhere.
Because he was in love with her the whole time.
Yeah.
And he was like, listen, I'm a nice guy. I fixed her cross when we were 6 years old. And that means I should get a chance to fuck her too.
Yes. It was taking the spurned nice boy character to the next level and having him literally just be a sociopath rapist.
He literally is a total psychopath.
He just flips the switch.
He flips the switch and there's a scene where he kills a guy and then he just stands over the body and smiles maniacally and you're just like, okay. You were a mild-mannered lawyer up until this point, and now all of a sudden you're a true psychopath. Okay.
And he was not a character at all.
And the other meme was that he had been wearing the crucifix that belonged to the girlfriend character. So Daniel Radcliffe was like, "Oh, she's been cheating on me with this guy the entire time." Turns out, no, he just stole the crucifix off her dead body.
After
and also,
raping her.
The crucifix keeps the devil powers from working on you. So the whole time, he was protected from the ability of the horns, making him tell the truth because he was wearing the cross.
Yes,
and that's
because of God powers.
That's how they tricked him. That's how he eluded suspicion because he was wearing the cross.
Yeah.
And you thought he was a good boy, but then you were like, oh no, he was a bad boy the entire time. But I mean, that whole gimmick to me just
shit. Oh god, I'm gonna
die.
Cheapens what now?
Cheapens the value of religion and Christianity because it's just if you just pretend you're a good Christian, the devil can't hurt you. If you just put on the iconography of Christianity, the devil can't hurt you. You don't actually have to be a good person. You don't actually have to believe in God. Just wear a cross.
Yeah, you just gotta wear a cross and go to church and be a good boy.
Sold, my friend, sold.
Oh my god, this guy's tough.
Pretty
Holy
cheap.
shit. He's fucking me up.
I mean, that being said, if that seems like a plot premise that would entertain you, then by all means, watch
it was certainly
Horns.
entertaining.
It's free on Netflix,
definitely
so it
corny
won't
and
cost you
stupid,
anything.
But it was entertaining.
But definitely, no one told me that this was a Bible movie. So all these years,
I guess,
I've intended to watch Horns, and I never did. And then I was like, oh, it's a Bible movie? Okay.
It's pretty funny. It's interesting with Christian stuff where, someone like your mom would probably never want to watch that movie because it's about
embracing the devil.
Yeah, the devil. But it's obviously a very pro-God, pro-Christian movie.
Definitely,
It's super Christian movie.
The main characters go to church. Church is framed in a very positive light.
And it's something that a Christian like your mom probably doesn't understand, which is that for the movie to include the devil, it's inherently a Christian movie. Because you're operating under the belief that the devil is real. From the beginning, the fact that he gets devil horns, you can almost assume that this is a Christian film. Because it's believing in that iconography, it's buying into the reality of the devil being real in this universe, which makes it a Christian film because it's believing in the Christian mythos of God and the devil. Which there's some stuff if you look at Ava or something, that wouldn't be true at all, because they're just taking the iconography for.
I don't know if I would go so far as to believe that every movie that includes the devil is a Christian movie. The Devil and the Blacksmith, I don't think that's a Christian movie.
No, that definitely was.
That was a Christian movie?
It was absolutely a Christian movie.
I don't know.
It totally was. I can't remember enough about it right now, but it definitely was a Christian movie. Most films that include, the devil, or God, or it's a Christian movie because it's operating
I don't think I
under
agree with that.
a set of rules that exists
because
within
those are just two
Christianity.
iconic characters within the mythos of humanity. It doesn't necessarily mean it's Christian.
I don't know. I think
This guy's ragdolling as fuck.
damn it, because I wish I could remember enough about that movie because I remember having an analysis that I gave to like Aaron about the Christianity of it, but now I can't remember enough about it. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I hate this game and its auto-saving systems and shit, because now I'm like, how far back did I just get sent? I have no idea.
I mean, it's definitely possible that I've just seen so much Christian propaganda
Yeah, I
that
think you don't see
low-key
it.
Christian propaganda doesn't faze me, but...
But like there's... Oh, fuck, I haven't beat this guy now.
Mhm.
Like, there's plenty of stories where you probably wouldn't think about it in that context unless you were looking for it, And there's just like where I might notice because I'm not used to operating under the assumption that God is real, So when I see something that is operating under those rules and logic, that it's like you're looking at it like, okay, this is a story framed within the premise of Christianity is real, If there's a character if there's a movie where there is hell and there is demons, then that puts the movie in the framework of this is a Christian movie, because if it weren't Christian, these characters couldn't exist, Like this is not operating in the Norse universe or the Japanese mythology universe, This is operating in the Christian universe.
If you're saying something is coming at it from a Christian lens, then God has to be the good guy and the devil has to be the bad guy. And there are movies where that's not true.
It kind of, I guess it depends on the movie.
Because Christianity, God is definitively the good guy. The devil is not the good guy.
But then that movie is a critique of Christianity, but it's still coming at it from the lens of God and the devil are real,
Well,
which still makes it Christian.
Like I said, I think saying God and the devil are real is not necessarily inherently only Christian.
I think that, it would be
that's a
Christian, Jewish,
it's a Western
and
ideology.
Yeah, it's Western ideology.
Because even people who aren't religious might say they believe in God and the devil.
Yeah, but they believe in that because it's in our
Western
culture,
ideology. Yeah, that's not necessarily Christianity.
But it's coming
just
from
the commonplace religious themes that are in our culture. Like, we are not a polytheistic culture. We're a monotheistic culture.
Yeah, but we're a monotheistic culture because of Christianity and Judaism,
But I don't think you can say everything is that now. It's stemmed off too many other
Well, yeah, because we have cowards called agnostics. But it would certainly not be an atheist film.
No.
If it has God in it. It's not an atheist film anymore.
It could if it was critiquing the existence of God and why he lets the things happen that happen.
Well, that wouldn't make
culture.
it atheist. It would still be operating that God is real.
No, because if it's a movie that the point is that if God was real, why would he let these things happen? Then it's an atheist movie.
Yeah, if you're saying if the conclusion is that God is not real because these things are happening.
But God is in the movie. Which the movie then supposes
no, because
that God and the devil exist.
God is not physically in the movie. The point of the movie is that he's not there.
But if he is in the movie, if it's a critique and God is in the movie and he's letting these things happen,
then it's still a Christian movie because God is in the movie.
No, you're wrong.
If God is there, then it's inherently operating on the belief that there is a God.
No, if a movie has God in it, it doesn't inherently make it a Christian movie.
I don't know. It depends on how God is treated, yeah.
Because if it's a movie universe where it's assumed that God exists, but
it depends on the portrayal of God.
And it's framed in a negative light from a perspective that's like, well, if God is real, why would he let this happen? Then it's an atheist movie.
I would make it Christian adjacent.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because then it's a movie about trying to fuck with Christians, which is great. That's a movie about taking down Christianity.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't think because a movie has God
you
and the devil in it,
you're fine.
it's necessarily.
I just think that, most movies that do are probably rooted in that somewhere,
Some.
Unless it's like an aesthetic thing. Like,
Yeah.
like God and the devil being in South Park. It's like obviously they're taking the piss out of Christianity, you know, or Muhammad being there as a joke. Like, but then I don't know. There's a mixed web in there because some people can see like movies that are criticizing Christianity as furthering their strength in it. Where like you have to criticize it to be able to strengthen your bond with it, basically. And I've seen that because when I didn't realize any of this until I was talking to my friend Aaron, who's very Christian and sees movies through a Christian lens. Like he looks for the symbolism and stuff, and so he will have this Christian takeaway where you go, "Oh, I didn't think about that because I don't think about this in the lens of." I don't approach all these movies like through the lens of Christianity.
Right.
And he will know that like the director is Christian or something like that. And so he's like getting that out of it.
Sure.
And so that just made me start thinking of these things in that context and going like, oh, I feel like a lot more things have Christian ideology in them than I realized because, we live in America and most people grew up with the Bible, So like to some extent, a lot of stuff includes those sort of ideas and philosophies that someone like me doesn't realize because I don't know that at all. Wish I could give it a specific example of something he stated. There's some movie we were talking about. I think it was Mandy.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Because we were talking about like the Christian symbolism and ideologies in Mandy because like it is there, and it took him talking about it to really put it in context of like of what it was trying to say and what it says to someone like him who is very much believes in the Bible and God, because to me it looks like a movie trying to take the piss out of religion, but in the end it's actually like you can see it as not doing that because like the villain of the movie is basically a false prophet,
right? Yeah.
And so like the movie does a lot to take the piss out of that guy, but like from a Christian's perspective,
that just reaffirms God.
It reaffirms God because that guy was a false prophet. You know, like Christians can rally against that guy because like it is within their beliefs to believe that this guy is a farce and that he is a bad guy. Whereas to me, it's just like, oh, religious people are insane. This is what Christians are like. But to him, it's like, oh, this is a bad Christian. And I was like, oh, huh. Wouldn't have thought about that because to me it's just like, oh, crazy Christians. I'm not really thinking about it as like these are bad guy Christians and there are good guy Christians, and that Nick Cage was a good guy Christian.
He's the good boy.
Because he's essentially given powers by God to take out a false prophet in revenge, because he killed Nicolas Cage's girlfriend like using God as a justification. Which is like, that's the worst thing you could do is you kill someone in Christ's name, like with the justification that it's God's plan when you're not a prophet and God is not speaking to you, So talking through to him, I got that context into the movie and was like, oh, okay, so this is kind of a Christian movie, if you look at it that way. And I think you could definitely make an argument for that being the point of the movie,
Maybe. I mean, if you had that particular viewpoint.
Yeah. But, yeah. So that's how religious people think about things.
Well, yes.
Which is quite strange.
I know this to be true.
Yes. It is interesting to have those people who will, like, view everything through this lens of their religion and, like, ideologies. Whoa, where does this go? It goes here.
Maybe.
Got him.
It's that boy.
Oh man, but I wanted to give another example of the glory of doing things in the proper order in this fucking game.
Yeah.
So I remember this tower. Maybe this is the wrong tower. No, it's the right one. Because if you go through this gulch here, through like the low road, then you'll get into this desert. You'll explore the whole desert before you find this tower tucked off into the corner. But I followed the path. I took the ladder up and I went up all these barricades and I got to it at the beginning of the map, which logically you should be able to do if you didn't hop over a bunch of shit and cheat around to get through that gulch area. So, like, when I first did this, and I know Conrad did this too, we both didn't find this tower until we were, like, basically done with the whole fucking Gerudo Valley area, you know? Or, like, we're at least deep into it. And now I found it naturally, and I'm having a very tedious time trying to fucking build myself a way across this. Can I just do the ice? Oh. I didn't need to build a way across this. I just needed to use
You're
like
doing
stupid
great.
ice
I'm
powers.
proud of you.
Anywho, what were we talking about? Horns?
We were talking about horns, and then you started talking about how every movie is about Christianity.
Yeah, it's how every movie is a Christian movie, because Horns definitely was. It was definitely
Horns
like
definitely was.
God is good in the end, and he became a good guy, even if he, you know, used devil powers in the end. Like, he was a good boy. He was a good Christian boy.
He did it for good reasons, because that's what God
It was a good
wanted.
Christian boy saving a good Christian girl, and it was a very corny movie.
It was, but they did have premarital sex, so
They
I
did.
mean,
So
you
it
know,
was an edgy Christian
It was
movie.
edgy
Like,
Christianity.
this is for Christian cool kids who are into the edgier parts of the Bible. Who are like, man, yeah, devil, cool, Lucifer, sweet.
It's for the Christians that don't take the Bible quite so literally.
Yes. Hey man, Lucifer's the good guy. That's all I'm saying. God is the bad guy. If look at half of our media and the message it sends, look at everything coming out of Japan and tell me that Lucifer is the bad guy and God is the good guy. Literally Gurren Lagann. Literally Gurren Lagann.
Are you saying Gurren Lagann is a
Gurren
Christian
Lagann
anime?
is a Christian anime about the Bible.
It's about leaving the Garden of Eden.
Yes, it's about Lucifer being cast down underground for having too much human free will, and God, the faceless, evil, amorphous, what's it called? What are those guys called?
Beastman?
No, the space
spiral,
guys.
the anti-spirals.
The anti-spirals. God is the anti-spirals, putting us down, putting down humanity, saying, follow these fucking rules, live by this creed, kill off your offspring, worship me for no fucking reason, and stay in your fucking place and don't explore space. That is God's goal.
Explore space, God.
Gurren
2019.
Lagann is a Christian story. Really, it's a Satanist story.
I was gonna say, that sounds more like Satanism.
To have Satanism, you have to look at the world through the eyes of believing in God and the devil, which makes it Christianity.
So Satanism is really just Christianity.
I mean, it's an offshoot, you know. It's all coming from the Bible, so it's an offshoot of what it would be. Judaism, the originator, which offshoots into Christianity. And so it would be an offshoot of Judaism going into Satanism, you know, and all that. You know, we've been down that road. Muslims are Christians too.
Hashtag Muslims are Christians too.
But yeah, we got up to the top of the tower and we unlocked the Gerudo Desert.
Nice.
That's the Gerudo town.
You read.
That's the big spooky labyrinth.
You in the desert, boy.
Yeah.
Nice. I have to pee.
Maybe I was wrong. It might have been this tower that was the one that was really hard to find. I think I'm wrong. Yeah, because this would have been a cool path to get up here too. I'll take that path down.
Yeah.
That way.
Do it.
What sort of time at in this episode? Do I have to pee as well?
Um,
It's hard to tell because we had to go get Walmart.
I mean, it's been an hour, but yeah, with the Walmart, I don't know.
I have no idea.
The Walmart probably took us like 5 to 10 minutes.
Is there anything else to say about horns?
Premarital sex is okay.
Premarital sex is the best sex. There is no better sex than sex before marriage.
So what you're saying is once we're married, it's all downhill?
Yep. That's what society leads us to believe. That's what they want us to
That
think.
is what society
What
says.
the fuck? What is this spooky dust clouds going on?
There's dogs in the desert.
There are dogs in the desert.
Desert dogs.
Desert dogs. And he's dead.
Now he's a dead desert dog.
Find me at the dead dog. Boy, I tried to warn you. I'm turning to Conrad now.
Oh yeah.
That's my goal.
That's your
I'm
goal.
just gonna become Digibro too.
No.
Look, no one can make better Digibro videos than Digibro 2. Conrad's not doing it anymore. Someone needs to step up and be the new Digibro. Needs to pass the torch. It's gonna be me. I'm gonna be the new Digibro.
But I didn't marry Digibro.
True.
I
I'm a
married Victor.
Digiho. Digiho. I'm Digiho. Welcome to Digihos, where I am the Digiho. And did you know I'm the Digiho? Oh, I'm gonna complete this spiral,
Yeah.
and then we're done.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it. Where's
Alright.
the?
I
Where do I
believe
put
in
the
you.
rocks?
I don't know.
There's 2 rocks. I gotta put them somewhere.
Yeah.
Where do I put these rocks?
Maybe at the end of the.
Usually there's a missing
Yeah,
one.
there's one there.
But where? What's missing?
It's at the end of.
Okay, I guess we gotta count the rocks.
Yeah.
And then we gotta
And
put
then
this
there was
one
the other,
over there.
the one right at the over there.
If we're
had a
good,
little
this one?
spot. No, the next
Where?
one. That one.
It's got a missing.
Yeah. Look,
Where?
it's shorter. Look, it right there.
Is it?
Right there, that little cavern.
Oh, I guess you were right.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
genius.
observant.
You're fucking genius.
Hashtag.
I couldn't fucking see that little
observant.
divot. I didn't know fuck about that divot.
Yeah.
It fucking saved me.
I tried.
Well, look, we can see the whole world.
Whoa. A whole
I
world.
can show you a world. It's a world. It's out there. I'm looking at the world.
Alright,
That's how the
guys.
song goes.
We'll see you later. We're gonna go eat 8
I
bags
can
of bread.
show you a world. It's gonna
See
be
ya.
a world. It's the world.
Hashtag bread
I
coma.
can show you it. It's
Bye.
nice. It's very nice. Very clean. I turned off the keyboard. That's why I can't stop the recording. Yeah, bye.